Hey everyone, this is Dutch Mogul at Ill-Gotten Games. I'm here recording a quick setup tutorial for Teledrome, our new 3D print and play game, which is also available on Tabletop Simulator. So I've gone ahead and built two forces, the blue and the orange here. Recording a quick setup tutorial for Teledrome, that's our new 3D not good. Game, which is also... Dang it. Alright. Starting this over. Hey everyone, this is Dutch Mogul at Ill-Gotten Games, and I'm recording a little tutorial and setup video for Teledrome, our new 3D print and play, and also available on Tabletop Simulator strategy board game. As you can see, I've gone ahead and set up two forces. You get to customize your forces using 100 points apiece, and that's at the kind of core values. We've got a blue team and an orange team here. And that those points go to buy your different model types, as well as your order cards, which are assembled in a little deck. And we'll put that off to the side. So over here, as you can see, using the Guild Mage as an example, we've got the unit card, which has all their stats and everything, and they're starting off at a C tier. Tier is kind of like level, A being the best and C being the lowest. So if you look at the C tier value, they've got, this is their offense, which is like their ability to attack, their defense, which is their ability to defend, their athletics, which is how far they move, and their range, which is how far they can attack. And this guy uses spells, so he's kind of a special exception. In addition, below the characters here, we have their counters, and these are sort of optional. We're using the hit point system for the purposes of the video. You don't have to, it's a lot quicker, but the hit points kind of add a fun tactical element. The hit points are going to be equal to their tier times the number of their defense value. So if you have, this guy has 2 defense at a C tier, and at a, you know what, okay, disregard this one, let's start over here. Hey everyone, this is Dutch Mogul at Ill-Gotten Games, and I'm here to record a quick setup and tutorial guide for Teledrome, our new tactical board game, which is available for 3D print and play, and also on Tabletop Simulator, which you're seeing right now. So the first things first, I've gone ahead and built two forces. Each force has 100 points available to it, which is used to buy the characters, which you can see with the cards right here, and the models, and their order cards, which is what's going to drive them, kind of what's used instead of dice for conflict resolution. And you get to customize and choose which powers you like and which orders you like, and there's a lot of options which come with the core set. For example, we're looking at this is the Barbarian, is one of the pieces in the blue team, and each character is is set to a tier. And that tier is kind of like your level, so C being the worst, A being the best. All these characters are going to start at C tier. That's kind of how we start out in a standard campaign mode game, and you can level up as you go. At the C tier, you can see that the Barbarian has 4 offense, which is their attack capability, 3 defense, which is their ability to defend, 4 athletics, that's how far they can move, and 1 range, that's how far they can normally attack. So below the character card, we've also got a couple of counters. This is a hit point tracker, and this is used to count, you know, their hit points until they're defeated. And a character gets a number of hit points equal to their defense times a modifier based on their rank. So if they're C tier, it's the defense times 2, which is why he has 6. If you were to level up to B tier, they get the defense times 3. A tier is defense times 4. The red tracker is an experience tracker, and that's used in campaign modes, and so as the characters gain experience, we'll do that and show you how that works. Over here, you have the costs. Oh, and the cost for the character, by the way, is on the lower right of the card. You can see that the Barbarian costs 18 points. Every card costs a number of points as well. So we have this order card here, which has these 3 different effects it can be used for, and that's 4 points. This one's 3, etc. And in total, we have 12 cards with this build. I'm going to shuffle them now, just in case. So we have 2 builds, and we're all ready to play. So the first thing we do is build the map. Now, in building the map, you take one of the arena tiles, you place it in the center of the map, and you flip the coin. Now heads, it'll be just blank side up. Tails, we go to the other side, which is the feature side. And the feature side means you're going to have some kind of special trap or obstacle or terrain piece that's in there. So we'll take the feature deck, let's bring it over for easier access, shuffle it up, and you draw one card. And we got a blade pillar. So we're going to go ahead and take that feature and put it right in the center on top of that F icon. So that would be the first player's turn, right? They would get to place that first tile. Players will then alternate doing the same thing, choosing a tile, flipping a coin, this will be blank side up, and placing it at any side they want. So we'll just go through this real quickly. Okay, this is going to be feature side. Come on. There we go. And these feature cards are going to go off to the side so that we know exactly what they do. This is a barrier. It's a good like wall kind of thing that'll block line of sight and movement. Let's see here. Okay, let's see what we get with this one. All right, heads up. Okay, so I'm gonna put that here against this one. I'm gonna go for a pretty easy configuration just to kind of expedite things. You could put it in any kind of configuration you like, or use however many tiles as you like. Okay, that's an elevation, and yeah, just when you're placing these features, place them so they're covering up that that F icon. All right. Okay, heads up. Put that there. Okay, tails. I'm gonna put this over here. And it's more elevation, so I'll Control C, Control V, copy that. That. Okay. Okay, tails it is. There. And okay, we got a mine. Fun. Okay, and this is the last tile. Okay, that's what we're getting. Oop. That's good. Okay, there we go. So this is our map, and these, we're not using these. We'll put these in the sack. These are the features that are at play on the map. So each of these cards has all the rules you need to interact with these features. Okay. So now that these are placed, starting with the first player, we're going to choose a side. Oh, actually, we'll start with the last player because they actually got to place the last tile. So, or didn't get to place the last tile. So they get to put down their arena doors. Now, these markers have to go the furthest point away from the central tile, the first tile that was placed, and that would be this one. So that would mean this would be the starting location for the orange team, and this is going to be the starting location. And you know what, we'll move that barrier for the blue team. And they can be deployed from anywhere on this tile edge, and same with this one. So now that the game is ready to start, each player draws 3 order cards, and I'm going to go ahead and just keep these face up because I'm playing against myself, so not really much point in hiding my hand, but in a normal game of course you would. And we'll go ahead and do the same over here for these guys. Okay, and this is where your deck will be, and that's kind of like the discard pile will go right in front of that. Go ahead and put these over in the sack here. Okay, all right. So the last player who chose their their starting tile is to go first, and that'd be the blue team. So I'll show you how this works here. Each card, this would be your hand. Each card has a green option, a green order, a blue order, and a red order. Green orders can kind of universally be played to work with any unit, and they're pretty basic. So here you can see activate a unit and grant them +1 athletics. Minor special thing there. Activate up to 2 units. Activate a unit and grant them +1/+0. So this is a pretty good deal. We're going to use this card, and we're going to use it to activate 2 of our units. And we're going to go ahead and bring in the Barbarian, who's got an athletics of 4. So he's going to come in this tile. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. Then we're going to bring in the Guild Mage, who has an athletics of 3, excuse me. Not terribly athletic. 1, 2, 3, and he'll be right there at the edge of the wall. Okay, and that was actually, that's how that works. Those characters are now activated. Each character can only be activated once per turn, so you can't throw out any other orders for them. But they can still take red orders, which can be played at any time. Blue orders usually have like a special effect that's a lot better than the green, but it might require specific circumstances. Like this one's critical strike, activate a unit to assault and grant them +3/+0, increase their offense by 3. But you have to be assaulting when you activate the character to benefit from that, so it wouldn't have done these guys any good. So that would actually be this player's turn. This is their hand. They're going to hold on to these cards. Meanwhile, we're passing over to the other player's turn. And this player could have activated this last character, but they're not going to. They're going to leave it in reserves and hold on to those 2 cards. Over here, these guys have an activate 2 units as well. These guys have an activated unit give them +1 athletics, or activate a unit simpliciter. It doesn't look like there's, you know what, we're going to go ahead and use this one. This is let's see here, sprinting stride. We're using the blue order. Activate a unit to move, but not charge, so you can't move up and attack somebody with this movement, and grant them +2 athletics. So let's go ahead and do that for the Superfan. Superfan has an athletics of 5. This will give them a +2, so they're actually going to move it a full 7 because of this card. So let's see here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to get this guy to cover behind this elevation piece here, just in case. That's going to help him against the wizard and cast a spell or something to that effect. Next activation. And again, we've already activated him, so we can't use another card on him unless we're using the red order. Let's see here. We're going to go ahead and use the standard activate a unit green order to bring in the Omni Derby star. And she has the roller skates ability, +2 athletics when using an order that modifies athletics. So she could have gone really far with that last one. Though -4 when climbing, and rough terrain costs an additional increment of movement. So yeah, nothing really applicable here unless we want to move her to higher ground. But she has, if we look at her card, an athletics of 4 at C tier. So we're just going to go ahead and use that basic movement to move her in 1, 2, 3, 4. Just get her on the map. Okay. There we go. Okay. And we're going to keep this Pigger Ganger here in reserves and discard these other 2 cards that we used. Probably should be discarding those as we use them, actually. But this card's going to get held in our hand. Okay, so next turn, restart here, and we're going to go ahead and draw back up to 3 for the first character. Let's take a look at this card here. Okay, activate unit, give a defense bonus, close assaults. And grapple. Okay, so let's take a look here. We're going to go ahead and activate that mage. He has line of sight. If we look over here, he can see this model right there, even though he does have cover, which is going to give him a +0/+1 to his, so basically +0 attack, +1 defense. That's the cover effect. And he's going to use the oh, actually, you know what? No. He's going to use the teleportation spell. So activate the mage or an allied unit within 5 range of a mage. And that would be him. They can see each other even though he would have cover from him. And instead of moving their athletics value, move them directly to any increment in the mage's line of sight. So he's going to use this spell. And if it has the spell icon or the spell indicator next to it, only a character with the mage type can use it. You can see the type up here underneath the names. So the mage can do that. So he gets to move him anywhere in line of sight. So we're going to actually put this barbarian directly to that increment right there, just up on higher ground above the superfan. Now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and take this card to activate the barbarian. Critical strike, activate a unit to assault and grant them +3/+0. So that's pretty good. Right now, because he has higher ground, we're going to give this guy an additional +1 to his offense. So with the +3 from that, that's +4 on top of his regular offense of 4. So he's attacking at an 8. So technically he's an 8/3, if you want to summarize that. And he's going up against the Teledrome Superfan, who is a 7/2. So if we do this, they're going to be defeating each other. So let's see here. But we're also going to use this red order, grapple. Play when an allied unit is adjacent to an enemy unit in an assault. Oh, no, never mind, can't use that. I'd have to have a friend adjacent to me, and I do not. Let's see if the superfan has anything he can do with this last card. Strengthen numbers. Nope, that requires that you have multiple allies adjacent to you, and right now they're just duking it out on their own. So they're fighting each other. The barbarian does 8 damage to the superfan. Superfan has, let's see here, there it is, has 2 defense, so that's 6 hit points damage that's coming through on the superfan, and he only has 4, so that's down to 0. Superfan is defeated. He's taken to enemy captures, so we put him kind of off to the side over here to indicate that he's been captured. Now Superfan did 7 damage, and that would have gone against the barbarian's 3 defense. So 5 of that damage goes over. The barbarian has 6 hit points, so the barbarian goes down to 1. But he's still holding strong on that upper ground there. So we're going to go ahead and keep holding on to this card. Not getting any use out of that this turn, but it'll be useful in later turns, hopefully. And then we'll go over to the other side's turn here. So, didn't get to use their card during their turn, but we're going to go ahead and draw back up to 3. Okay, let's take a look here. Okay, so what can we do? We've got close a cold. Okay. We are going to go ahead and activate the Omni Derby Star to charge the barbarian. And we're going to use Battle Cry, using the blue order to do so. That's going to give her a +1/+1 if he has the living type, which he does. Most characters have the living type, not all. And she's going to move her movement of 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to here, over here, and she's going to make an attack against the barbarian. So she is normally a 4 offense, 3 defense, but with the +1/+1, she's going to be a 5/4. And we're comparing that against the barbarians, 4/3. So it looks like his offense is just meeting her defense because she used that ability bump her up to +1. So she's not going to take any damage, but she is getting over to him by 2, and he only had 1 hit point at this point. So now he's down to 0, technically -1. And we're going to take him off to the captures on the enemy side here. All right. Next, we're going to go ahead and activate the Pig Earth Ganger. I'll put the battle cry in our discard pile. And we're going to go ahead and use this one. Activate a unit and grant them +0/+1. So he's going to move in 1, 2. Oh, actually, how far does he move? Let's check that. He has an athletics of 4 at C tier, so he can move 4, 3, 4. Okay, we'll get him right over here. No, come on. Okay. And we're going to hold on to this card because there's not a lot we can do with it right now. Okay, so we go back to the blue team's turn. Let's draw back up to 3 cards. Let's take a look what we have here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and activate. We're going to go ahead and activate a unit. Just a basic activation to bring in our Demon Lord. And the Demon Lord has an athletics of 2, so he'll get to move a whole big 2 increments into the map. Let's see here. So he's going to be there. Not great. But he's there. We got something on the map anyway. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and let's take a look and see what we can do with the mage. The mage doesn't really have a whole lot he can do with these cards. He really is activated off of spell cards. So we're just going to activate him to move. And we have to blow this, activate 2 units. Actually, you know what? No, let's do the activate a unit and grant them +0/+1 using that green order. And that's going to at least give him +1 defense while he's moving. So he gets to move his 3 movement. We'll go 1, 2, 3. But let's take a look at that blade pillar. It's in the center there. The blade pillar has the following stats. It's got 3 offense, 6 defense, 1 range, and it has the tech type in case there's anything that interacts with that. Any players may use a blue order to activate the blade pillar to assault even during an enemy activation, interrupting to attack when the enemy unit moves into range. So the mage would be moving by in this tile right here, and that's a range of 1, which means I could reach out and get it. So let's take a look at what they have for blue order. Their blue order is rally. Activate a unit to move or charge, then choose 2 units within an incremental line of sight. Okay, yeah, it's not going to affect it because it'd have to be something that you could use to actually attack. So the mage is safe. He gets to move over to here, and his +1 bonus, he gets to defense, of course. Like all these bonuses from these cards, goes away at the end of the round. Okay, so next up, we're gonna keep holding on to this card here. Head over to the orange team's turn, and we're gonna draw back up to 3 cards. Okay. We're going to go ahead and use this one. We're going to use the green order up at the top there. Activate a unit and grant them +1/+1. We're going to activate, at the top of the discard pile, we're going to activate the Pig Earth Ganger. Let's take a look here. So he has 6 range. So he can make a range attack. He can't move an attack when making a range attack, any attack that goes beyond 1. But he can go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, he's not quite good enough. Okay, so we're actually just going to move with him. All the enemies are just outside of range. But he does have a +1/+1. So let's see here. What is his movement value? It is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get him right out in the center there. And, you know, we'll just make this a quick one. We're going to go ahead and just use this just generic activate a unit green card to move her. And she has 4 movement as well, but we're just going to move her over here so that she's adjacent to him, so they can kind of help support each other when, if one of them gets attacked. Actually, we'll put her 1 back. That's a little better. Okay. All right, so that's their turn. They're going to hold on to that card. We're going back to the blue team. Let's draw back up. Okay, now we've got a proper spell card here. The Guild Mage is going to attempt to use the Lightning Bolt on the Pig Earthganger. So, when doing so, it's a special spell effect, so it can be used by the mage. Make an assault with a range of 20. That's going to hit anything on the board as long as he's got line of sight. Like you can see the model from model to model. Gaining +5/+0 and adding the electricity type. So electricity type is a +1/+0 versus living, so that'll technically be +6 if he's attacking the pigman. And higher bonus versus tech types, but it's not applicable. So he's going to shoot a lightning bolt at the Pig Earthganger. Increases his range to 20 and his offense by +6. So he's now an offense 7, defense 2. Now the Pig Earthganger, because of his 6 range, can shoot back, and he actually gets to retaliate. His offense right now is a 4/4. So the mage's offense of 7 goes up against the Pig Earthganger's defense of 4, doing 3 damage to the Pig Earthganger. So we go ahead and count his hit points from 8 down to 5. The Pig Earthganger, however, shoots back with an offense of 4 at the Guild Mage with a defense of 2. It hits him for 2 points, dealing 2 damage. Puts the Guild Mage down to 2 hit points, so he's at half value now. Okay. Next up, we're going to go ahead and use this green order to activate the demon, and he's going to move 2 increments, and he takes up 4 increments where he sits, so we kind of got him off the tile edge here, but that's okay. So now he's over here, slowly moving his way in, and yeah, okay, and that's that. So basically, as you can see, once characters' hit points are reduced to 0, they're captured. They're brought over to their opponent's side, and once characters have fully been captured, then the other team has won. Now, if you happen to go through your entire deck and all your cards are depleted, and that will happen, and sometimes, you know, both sides won't have eliminated. One side won't have eliminated the other. You can then play from the top of your deck up to 3 cards per turn, and you can only use the green orders. So the red and blue orders are locked off at that point. We didn't get to see red orders in action with this little display, but just to show you how this could have worked, let's say that the Pig Earthganger was in a combat. Actually, when he used the lightning bolt, the orange player could have dropped strength in numbers, this red effect, to give him a +0/+2, and it would have lessened the damage he took, because he has an adjacent ally, and you get +0/+2 per adjacent ally. Adjacent just means in a tile, any of the 8 tiles around you, or more if you're the Demon Lord who takes out more tiles. Okay, well, in any case, this should be a real basic primer. We're going to do a bigger game where we actually play with 2 people and go through a full cycle, but I wanted to have something out there so you can kind of get an idea of how it's set up and how it rolls. Yeah, well, hey, thanks for watching, and take care.